Hey there, it's Vashti Sarah. Welcome back to Post Blog. If this is your first time listening, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, follow button, share button, all the buttons to stay connected with the Post Blog podcast. And for those of you who this is not your first time, welcome back. Today's episode is a little bit different. I have Jamie Eubanks as my guest speaker. Today we'll be talking about the power of our words. It's in relation to the blog post, Quit Speaking That Over Your Life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Today I have none other than Jamie Eubanks as my guest speaker. For those who do not know who Jamie Eubanks is, you probably should get to know her because she is a pretty phenomenal person. I met her a couple years ago. My brother works at High Point Insurance Group, and that's where she currently works. She holds the title as the Inspirational Manager, which is extremely fitting for today's topic because we're going to talk about words, the power of our words. And I just want her to inspire y'all, to inspire you guys to be a better version of yourselves and to inspire y'all to quit speaking words that are negative over your life and that can cause detriment to who you are and who you will become. But before we get into that, I want to let y'all know a little bit about Jamie. She, like I said, is currently the Inspirational Manager at High Point Insurance Group. But she also worked as the Assistant Senior Program Manager at the City of Friendswood, Director of Student Initiatives at the University of Houston, Store Manager at Abercrombie, and Ticket Sales and Service Intern at the Houston Rockets. She also graduated from the University of Houston with her bachelor's in Public Relations, Advertising, and Applied Communication. So you can say Jamie is pretty well-rounded. She has figured out life pretty well. So let's just jump right into today's topic. We're going to talk about the power of words. So, Jamie, you have the floor.
Hello. Well, thank you so much for, having me on. I remember meeting you 2 years ago. I think we were doing a workout in the gym, and I was like, I told Hez, your brother, I said, you have to bring her back. She is wonderful. Like, I just, your energy, I just loved everything about you from the beginning. So I appreciate, I love that you asked me to come on to your podcast. So.
Yeah, for sure. And the feeling is mutual because I think right after my encounter with you, I told Hezekiah, I said, my goodness, who is this person? I've never met a person before that radiates so much joy and just has a tangible presence of, I don't know how else to describe it other than like beauty, but not just like outward beauty, but inward beauty that is very, very evident.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
So, once you sent me the topic of what we were going to talk about, I mean, it's crazy because this week I started reading a book, and then it kind of all ties in together of words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not only in our personal life, our work life, words affect our lives every single day, every minute of our day.
Mm-hmm.
And words are so powerful. They can destroy somebody or they can create and lift somebody up. Every single word that you say to somebody or to yourself. And that's how I always tell people, it all starts with yourself. You have to be the best version of you to help others. And so I guess it was last year when I did the 75 Hard program, it really became evident to me, and becoming a mom, 11 years ago, that I have to be careful the words that I speak to myself. And it wasn't myself that pointed it out. My husband said, Jamie, you really have to get it together. You are so hard on yourself. You're so negative toward yourself, and you're this amazing person.
Wow.
But those words that you speak, Lily, our daughter, she is hearing every one of those negative words.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, as a female, I think it hits harder, because we are so hard on ourselves.
Right.
Not only about, how smart we are or the grades that we're getting, but we're so we get so much criticism on how we look, right? And so that really became evident to me just within the last year, and how much my words impact not just me, but they're impacting my daughter and my son as well.
Right.
And so I I have been very intentional about reinforcing those positive talks with myself.
Hmm.
And I can see that Lily, she's like, I'm just so smart, I'm the best at what I do. And I'm like, okay, this is working because this is how I want her to feel.
Right.
And also I hear her say, about her friends, how wonderful her friends are. And she just speaks so um, highly of her friends as well. And so I'm like, okay, this is working and this is what I need to be doing. And, it just has a big impact. And it just, it goes from her, it goes to her friends. And, it can make a big impact on so many people and you don't even know it.
Right. Absolutely. And I agree because you created that atmosphere. I mean, with the help of your husband, you created that
Mhm.
atmosphere in your home of the power of words, power of speaking uplifting words.
We may not hold the title of leader per se, like in
Hmm.
our job description or whatever, but we are all leaders in some form or fashion. And as that leader, we have the privilege of building people up every
Yep.
single day. And if we speak that into the world and we can make a difference in somebody's life, those few little words, those few little moments, are so worth it for me. Like I tell everybody, I work, obviously, I work out every day,
Hmm.
but I don't motivate myself. What motivates me and inspires me is seeing others thrive. If
Yeah.
they're feeling good about themselves or whatever it may be, that's what really inspires me. I know I hold the title of inspiration manager, but it's the others that inspire me to,
Wow.
want to be a better person, just speaking that positivity into the world.
Hmm. That's
So,
good. So, when you were growing up, would you say you always had that positive mindset and it shifted when you became a mother because that responsibility or role increased? Or did that shifting occur when your husband approached you and said, "Hey, you are phenomenal. You are amazing at what you're doing, but raising a daughter, we need her to see you believe those words."
yeah, so growing up, I heard positive stuff. My parents divorced when I was very young, so I did see a little bit of negativity.
Mhm.
Not necessarily towards me, but just within our family atmosphere.
Right.
Um, and so I wouldn't say that I was always so positive. I can say that when I started working at High Point 2 years ago, just in this atmosphere and obviously the people that you surround yourself
Yep.
with, it makes a huge impact on how you start seeing things. When you start creating positive things out of every situation and seeing all the positive things out of every situation and not focus on that negative,
Mhm.
it's life changing. I really will say it is life changing. So, my I would say my real journey started, when I started here at High Point, but then um, really seeing the impact as, Lily's 11, so she's really understanding more
Yeah.
of, the words and the impact of words. And um, this is kind of off topic, but, she has an iPad and she'll text her dad and I. And one time she said, I don't like you. Well, my
Hmm.
husband said, you understand that whatever you put in a text message or on the internet, it stays there forever.
Yeah.
And so that's the same with words. The words that you say are going to stay with somebody forever. So I always try to keep that, for in the forefront of my mind when I'm saying something. I try to really think about, okay, how is this going to impact this person? Is it going to lift them up? And or is it going to bring them down and not push them forward like they need to be? Because we always say moving forward, you don't want to move backward, you always
Right.
want to push somebody forward. So I would say that I really didn't start this journey until a few years ago.
So what does that routine look like? What did you implement to help you have a positive mindset?
So getting up every day, I have my I don't necessarily have a gratitude book, but in my planner,
Mm-hmm.
I write what I'm grateful for, because there's always something to be grateful for,
Right.
whether it's just, you had a cup of coffee. It's the small things that add up.
Yeah.
um and then obviously, if I've started reading more, I always have a book in my hand or on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously listening to podcasts, that has been game changer for me.
Yeah.
um and like I said previously, it's surrounding myself with the people that are doing the same. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to surround yourself with negative people. And you know what? Sometimes those negative people just need that positive
Right.
reinforcement in their life, to realize that not every situation is a negative one. So, I just hope that whatever I say can have an impact and maybe help somebody to move in the direction of, speaking, those life words in their everyday routine.
Yeah. What would you say there's a challenge about speaking powerful words? Like you've faced a challenge in trying to be positive?
Oh yeah, absolutely. People will say, "Oh, you can't be this happy, or you can't think these positive thoughts all the time," right?
Right.
Well, sure, they don't come to my mind sometimes at first, but it's about being intentional about it, right?
Yeah.
The only way we're able to learn is to be intentional, be consistent with what we're doing. And once you have your mind and your heart right, you will automatically start to speak that positivity into your life every single day.
Right.
Just like you and I being runners,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be consistent with it. We have to, quote unquote, practice. We have to get our miles in. And that's just like anything else. I mean, you have to practice at it, and eventually it'll become second nature. And you're just like, okay, thinking like this is not so bad.
Right. Yeah.
That shift is the main thing. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you want to think in life?
Very, very true. And did your family ever experience not experience, but did they ever question, why is she so happy now? Or did you receive any negative feedback from anyone?
Honestly, no, I didn't. All
That's
I
awesome.
got was positive feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Even my family, they love, because they follow me on my social media. And I don't have a big following, but they follow me. And just to inspire somebody to wake up and exercise, or wake up and be grateful for something. But no, my family is so supportive.
Yeah.
My first marathon, they were all out there with signs, my nieces and nephews. And um, that, having the right mindset to exercise and to put a goal in place
Right.
was huge for me, because you have to mentally be in the right place to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my family is wonderful.
That's awesome. And I think that's good too, because not everyone is going to agree with your lifestyle shift. But at the end
Mhm.
of the day, like you said, surround yourself with people that think the similar to as you do. But at the same time, even when those don't think similar as you do, you are placed in that position to inspire them. And you
Mhm.
could be exactly what that person needs, that
Mhm.
motivation to think differently and to be an environment that's positive and not one that's negative.
Yes, exactly.
So, before we wrap it up, what would you give as an advice to listeners who are struggling to speak words of life, who every day is a doomsday for them and they've
Mhm.
just been stuck in that rut, that routine of negative thoughts?
Yeah. So, what I would tell somebody, like I said, it's easy to complain about all the bad things going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many great things in this life. We have a choice every single day when we wake up. And I tell my kids this every day when they go to school. You have a choice to be happy, or you
Mm-hmm.
have a choice to be mad about life. So what's going to be better, and what's going to make you have a better day? And they always say, choose to be happy. So it's that choice of choosing joy, which I love to use, choosing joy
Mm-hmm.
every single day. Um, and speaking life, you obviously have to transform your heart and mind with all of that. And like I said, when you transform those thoughts, it'll just come out naturally. And one more thing, that when you are speaking to somebody, the choice of your words, that speaks a lot about you, how you're
Yeah.
treating other people, the words that you use with other people. That says a lot about you and the kind of person that you are. So
Hmm.
just transforming your mind, your heart will automatically, transform those words that you speak every day, to yourself or to others.
Yeah. That's powerful. My mom used to always tell us that from the abundance of our hearts, the mouth speaks. So whatever
Hmm.
is inside is going to come out. Whatever we plug into
Hmm.
will eventually come out, what we release from us. So if we keep saying negative things about ourselves, we're going to say negative things about other people. It's that
Exactly.
whole concept of hurt people, hurt people.
Exactly.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope someone gets inspired. I hope someone just, walks away a little bit more encouraged and maybe even challenged to shift their daily routine. Journal, write down positive thoughts, write down things that you're thankful for. You can always be grateful for something, even if it's as simple as the breath in your lungs or, as Jamie said, a cup of coffee. Be grateful, be thankful. And like we said, hurt people, and people who are filled with love will love people. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Jamie.
Yes, thank you so much.
That's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope y'all were inspired. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like button, follow button, share button, all the buttons to stay connected with the Post Blog Podcast. Same time, same place next week. I love y'all, but remember, God loves you most.